Yo, what's going on, guys? Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming in, watching the Meat Podcast. We're gonna have our buddy on here. A little bit loud, sorry, guys. We're gonna have our buddy SAPATHEGOAT on here today. We're gonna talk about some stuff like we did last time. We're gonna see what he's got going on. He's got some good stuff in the works. He's got some stuff going on, and he's going to be telling us some of his, trying to tell us some of his tips and tricks, what he's got going on. We've known each other for a while. I believe I've followed him for, we've known each other for about a year and a month now. What's up, Matt? Trash, Roadkill, what's going on? What's going on, guys? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate everybody. We've known each other for about a year and a month. It's crazy, which makes time fly. I'll tell you what. Very cool dude. Most of you guys know him. If you guys know me, he's gonna be on there. I usually rate out to him or a couple other people. There's gonna be a segment where we're gonna have you guys ask questions. Have some questions ready if I don't ask them before. Also, there will be times where he may ask you questions. I may ask you questions. We'll figure out as we go, and we'll get it going. But we're gonna go ahead and hop over to Sapa, and we'll see what he's got going on here. And here he is. Hello, Sapa. What's going on, buddy?
What's going on, and how are you doing? Hello, everyone.
I'm doing great. You know, good to finally get to talk to you on here. I've been excited having you on here. I've been trying to get ready for it.
I hear you. I appreciate it. You know, of course, I cleared my schedule out for this opportunity.
Of course. Super important.
Hey, man. You know, if you don't got your friends back, you know, I mean,
Right.
Yeah. Like, what's the point?
What are we at now? Year and a month, right? That's when I said that followage. I believe it's what it said, because you said almost a month, a year and a month. Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, it was like 3 weeks or something like that.
Exactly. Yes, Roadkill. Exactly. We can jump into it if you want to. Go ahead and tell us about yourself. Go ahead and, if you want to type in the chat, or you can plug whatever you'd like, any links that you got, what you got going on, and who you are.
Oh yeah. I mean, my name is Sapa. Or Sapa the Goat, but it
He
would be
is-
Sapa
he is
if
the
I
goat.
could get the original. If I get the original, it would just be Sapa though, for sure.
Right.
But
Where does that
yeah,
come from? One more time. I know you have a code for it, but
yeah, I got you. So the name, it's actually a Quechua word, which is like an indigenous South American language.
yes.
It means the only one. It was like a title that the Incan like people, they would give every emperor that kind of like ascended to the throne or whatever. You
Right.
know? Like so that's where the name. Okay, I'm half Peruvian. That's where the Inca thing,
Okay.
the connection rides. So yeah,
Okay,
that's where
yeah.
that's the origin of the name. And so it's kind of like my way of like, you know, keeping the culture alive, moving it forward. I feel like yeah, it's just something that's like a personal element to like what I'm doing for in terms of like streaming content and all that.
Right. Seem very proud of your heritage, your culture.
Hey man, you gotta be. You know,
Right.
You gotta do it for the culture, man.
Right.
Know? Got to.
Okay, then what about your content? What are you mainly about? What do you mainly play? Are you variety? Are you, you know, everything?
Yeah. My bad. Yeah. Yeah. Mostly just streaming right now, but I am hoping to get into VOD content soon. And yeah, I would identify probably as a variety streamer. I really cut my teeth like when I was younger in first-person shooters with SOCOM 2. That was like my first one where I was like competitive. And this is back when you would do like gamebattles.com. Like you would, I think they've already gotten like acquired by MLG or whatever, but yeah, that's how you would do competitive. Like that was the closest thing you had to organize competitive play. Otherwise, it was just pubs.
Right.
So I started with that, but I always had a love for all kind of like single-player, narrative-driven games. Link to the Past, one of my favorite games ever. Right, that kind of really influenced the kind of games I was into. But I like competitive stuff. You know, I'll play PvP shooters, but also, you know, dabble in things like Elden Ring or, you know, I'm trying to think of another. Oh yeah, Cuphead. That's another one I did.
Yeah, I did see you play Cuphead.
Right. So like, you know, I'll do. So yeah, I'll just alternate between the two. Right now, though, I'm currently playing a lot of Dead by Daylight and a lot of Destiny 2.
My buddy Roadkill, he been very excited that he
Shout out
was
to
able to
Roadkill.
play with you. Yeah. Definitely
Yeah,
shout out
yeah,
to
yeah.
Roadkill. He was very excited to be able to play with you, and he's very excited to learn some stuff from you.
For sure, man. And like that's one of the games I wanted to focus on more. And I know when we had kind of like thought about talking about doing this whole podcast thing, that's something that came to mind for me. It's like, if I was kind of gonna do things a little differently, I'd probably stick to one game early. It hasn't been bad growth-wise or anything, just kind of go with my approach. But moving forward, I think for like at least for the rest of the year, I'm gonna focus kind of primarily on Dead by Daylight in terms of the VOD content. So anything you see on YouTube will be like probably based on that. But in terms of the games, I'll probably only like do half the week. Well, majority of the week playing that game and then play other stuff still. I think the variety just keeps it interesting because ultimately, it's not like I'm really super passionate about one particular game,
Right.
which is fine.
That's
but
how I
know-
was too. Exactly.
Yeah, and I just think I would just get bored. I know I would. Like I know I would get bored. Even with Destiny, I picked it up and put it back down a lot. Dead by Daylight, same thing. I rotate through a lot of games, but I also feel like I also play for like a sense of accomplishment too, right? Personally,
Right.
like not even forget about like the content and everything like that, but I do play for like for that sense, getting a high rank or accruing a lot of kills or playing on a hard difficulty. I think that for me, the challenge is a big part of like what drives me toward gaming, particularly just as a hobby. But yeah, I think I'm moving forward. I'm definitely gonna do a lot more Dead by Daylight. It's gonna be a lot more educational stuff. It's gonna be like tutorials, build advice, how to deal with difficult opponents.
You hear that, Roadkill?
Yeah.
He's gonna be making the content for you, buddy. If you want to really, really learn, he's gonna be making those.
But part of me also thought about this. It's like Destiny 2 is also really fun for me, and I'm playing it well. I think if you're gonna get into the whole streaming like as a hobby, whether you want to do it professionally or as a hobby, I think it's also important that you show some skill. So if you're gonna play a game, like play it well. It's
Right.
like just like having pride in whatever you do. Professionally or a job or whatever. It's like it doesn't matter what you do, just do it with pride. Put your heart into it. So I definitely think like playing one game at a time is a good idea. But I don't know. You kind of mentioned like how you started like that. I was hoping you could kind of like expand on it, Johnny. Like you talking about, maybe you focus on one game and then it kind of didn't really like what happened? Like you just felt like the vibe was off after a while. You just didn't like you didn't look forward to playing. Talk to me about that.
One of my biggest things is exactly that. I was super big on COD. I mean Warzone. That's what built me. That's what happened. That's how I got where
I feel like I knew that. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of where I was.
Okay.
And it's. I mean, everybody knows how COD is right now and how it was and how it turned out to be. It just made it to where it was not the same game. I had no desire to play, and when I was playing, I was in a bad mood. One of my biggest things, if you're not projecting the best version of yourself while on stream, you're not gonna have people sticking around. I was never in the right mindset of I'm gonna have a great time, because every time that I tried, either something would happen with my OBS because I'm playing COD, or I'm getting screwed on COD, or like Bravo here says, Warzone Customs. We tried to do Warzone Customs every Friday, and we could never get enough people. And it would just that, and then people being like, "Oh, start the game," "Oh, this and that," and I was like, "I can't start the game. I didn't have enough people."
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff that this COD didn't help me with, and so I, expanded to more stuff. I believe I think I found you when I was playing Destiny, when I went to Destiny and
I
played
don't
that for
remember.
a while.
I'm
I know I rated you. I think I rated you first.
Yeah. It was definitely. I feel like you were playing Warzone at the time, but you were like already sort of looping out of that.
Yes, I believe that's what it was. Yeah.
And thankfully, you were looking for some alternatives, man. Other games that
Right.
would be more interesting. I think you make a good point though. You gotta at least like the game you're playing.
Yeah, you have
You
have to project the best version of yourself. Otherwise, you're not gonna have the people be excited, be hyped up, and because I know there's those rage streamers, but I'm not. No, that doesn't get me. Rage just does not get me.
Can't do it, man. I mean, no, I've been like outraged before on some nonsense in a game, but I don't know if I could really like get there like emotionally, like actually angry.
No. and I really can't. Whenever I get on, usually my wife's getting ready for bed, my baby's sleeping, so I can't. I'm not gonna do that anyways, but like not gonna happen. With having the right energy and stuff that we're talking about, what helps you with engagement to your community, your viewers and stuff, and what have you found that helps you keep viewers in and interested?
The thing is, Johnny, like, one thing that I should have been doing is really just working more on social media. I mean, I know the first time we ever spoke, we discussed like TikTok, and you just gave me some
Yes.
thoughts. And I know that's a big thing. I think that, being sort of present on those platforms, just depending on what you prefer, but Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Discord. I think people don't fail to realize that Discord is actually kind of like its own social media platform.
Discord is amazing. Most of these people in here right now saw that I said I was going to be live on the podcast from Discord.
Yeah, exactly. And so that's one thing that's a success story for me, though. I will say I put more focus on the Discord, on my own Discord, and like it's helped a lot, and then like twofold, like both in like helping people feel like they're part of the community. That's what it comes down to. That you gotta make people feel part of that patchwork.
Yes.
That's essential for like retention and have people come back, and being engaged. I think that the Discord is like really at the heart of it. But I know a lot of people who also kind of post regularly on socials. Even something as simple as like a story update can kind of be meaningful, as long as you get someone's attention. Potentially having them come back later, or knowing that they'll check it so you can reach them that way to remind them that there's a stream. A lot of people want the reminders. Don't be obnoxious about it, right? But there's a lot of people who want those reminders, like on Instagram or on Twitter or through Discord. And I think paying attention to that, determining what your community wants or prefers, is critical for that early retention.
And like you said, the building up a community or building foundation in somebody's community and being a part of it, that's a big thing. I mean, like I said, most of these guys in here are big parts of the community. Bravo's been here for I don't even know how long. Roadkill, I mean, he's a personal friend, and Joey, he's been forever. He's my cousin. Matt, he's my friend in real life. So I mean, we all know that everybody, most of the people in here,
that's a family, man.
Yes, sir.
That's another thing too, by the way.
One of my biggest thing in here, whenever we send out a raid and stuff, everybody's like, "Oh, there's Meet Justin, there's Meet Johnny, there's Meet Joey, there's Meet Pro Noob, there's Meet Kratos." There's just that's one of my big things I thought was a really good idea. If somebody really liked the community and loved the community that much, to change their name to my area, I mean to my Meet everything. That's literally them being a huge part of the community.
It's critical, man. I mean, for me, I don't like the idea of like being a streamer. The community leader aspect of this whole thing, that's the part that really intrigues me. And like, I think that sense of identity is important. I think that's what you're providing. You're helping with that.
Right.
I think that's huge. I mean, that's why I went with the name that I did. People find other ways to kind of express who they are, whether it's even through like the games they play, their humor or whatever. The community is a reflection of the streamer, for better or worse.
That's definitely true.
And I'm saying you can try your best to cultivate things one way or another, but ultimately it's gonna just reflect who you are.
Right.
Something to keep in mind, And hey, if you kind of like buy that, then you can kind of remember that, okay, I'm basically talking to someone who's kind of like myself. The idea of mirroring, behavior mirroring, and like phrasing and patterns. This is all stuff I learned like do my own, like do like just my day job, right? As like a journalist, all these things kind of like it impacts, how people feel when they're checking your story or your content or showing up like for live streams. If you get that emotional appeal, right, and that like psychological appeal, that also is really 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 important for like helping people feel part of the community.
Definitely.
And having people come out and hang out and watch.
Right. With stuff like that, I know that you watch a couple other people, or you have put your part into other people's communities and stuff too. What have you taken from somebody that you think was a great idea for you to implement into your stream?
Mm, And you know what? Actually, I mean, I could look at it as a lot of different ways, but just the fact of playing Dead by Daylight, I didn't know about this game. It's been out since like 2016, right? And that's like a super specific answer to your question, but I think this is important because like I was connected to one streamer that he's a buddy of mine, my boy Raider, and like he actually played a lot of Apex, and then he started playing like just a tremendous amount of Dead by Daylight. And I would watch because I was interested, and I actually I fell in love with the game. I was like, oh wow, I actually kind of want to play this. I played it, and this is 1,000 hours later, we're having this conversation, Johnny. Like that's one thing I just took. Like I love the discovery of games through watching other people's content. That's why I'm as much a producer on Twitch, or a consumer as I am a producer on Twitch. So like that's the biggest thing that draws me. It's like I want to find something new. So yeah, playing a game, like it can actually make a difference, and it's helped because people come to watch that game. And
Right. Yeah.
I think that's something as simple as that. Just a game choice can actually make a tremendous impact on.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
The content, who you reach. So, better for worse again with Dead by Daylight because they can be pretty toxic, but that's fine.
A lot of communities can. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm used to Call of Duty, so yeah.
Exactly. So, like, oh yeah, what am I saying? Of course,
What is one thing that you've done that successfully, or that your brand has done that you didn't expect for you or your brand to do? On stream, off stream, or like meeting somebody you didn't think you'd meet and it's helped you that much. I mean, maybe even like your followage. I mean, maybe how you've built your community or anything like that.
So like something I'm proud of that I accomplished, or like an achievement, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I think personally, a big thing for me is that I'm surprised at how. I mean, I'm not trying to like. So maybe sound like an asshole.
Hey,
like,
around here, I want you to toot your horn, man. I want you to.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't want to sound like an asshole, right?
No,
like,
I'm proud of anybody I
arrogant.
bring on here. I'm going to be proud of whatever they're doing.
Okay, yeah. So I'm surprised at how like clutch I've been able to be, especially with people watching, right? Like, do you remember like a couple? It was like in July. I had like a lot of people watching. I was playing the cycle.
You were
Just
up
for the
to
drops,
like
right?
200 something or whatever.
Yeah,
That's
and like
ridiculous.
so.
It's crazy.
It was a raid, right? I was right place at the right time. That's another thing to keep in mind when you're doing the stream thing.
Right,
Being
yeah,
right
yeah.
place at the right time, right? But anyway, like I got some kills and stuff, man. Like it's how the cycle's like kind of like Tarkov. It's like it's PvE. So you're out in this like map like on a raid, and you can run into people. You can run into juicers actually, people who are like better geared than you and stuff. And anyway, that's just an example. Doing that, playing like getting to like Diamond 4 in Apex, ranking up.
That's
in,
nuts.
in
That's
24-hour like.
big accomplishment. That's a very big accomplishment. I
appreciate that,
I can't
man.
get past like rookie. I mean,
It's fine, man. We just gotta play more, man. That's it. We'll talk about that later, though. But yeah, but no, it's like that, and it's all like playing that live, and grinding things like Dead by Daylight. I did at the beginning of the year. I did like it was 28-hour stream. That's another thing I didn't think I could accomplish, but it was 28 hours.
Wow.
We went from the bottom rank, like Ash 4 to Iridescent 4, which is like one of the higher ranks. So we did that all on one stream, like on Survivor. So I'm actually surprised I'm able to do all that though, man. Like, I didn't think it's one thing to kind of like clutch it up when there's no pressure, there's no eyes, none of that. But it's like another thing to say, hey, look at me, watch me do this.
I did that with this much people. Yeah, that's crazy. Yes.
So that's something like I'm kind of like personally, I'm proud of that for myself, especially coming from someone who's like really like an introvert, and it took me a long time to get over like my fear of public speaking. And so going from being terrified of even like answering a question in public, let alone, facing a broadcast of people watching to where we are now, so
Right.
Yeah, I think building up that confidence over years, that was super helpful. And that's kind of like, yeah, I think that's one thing that I'm like proud of as a person that
Right.
we've accomplished through the stream. As a community, though, I think I want to give like another like some more color here. Like as a community, like I also feel like, um, I don't know. I'm actually proud that I mentioned this a little earlier, but like the whole Discord thing, I'm actually surprised at how much more people are like engaging there. Like there's some folks who I only see in Discord. Now that's a problem, right? Like it's not.
Right.
I always say that my streams are like, invitations, not expectations, right? So it's like you can come hang out, we're here, but I don't expect anyone to come through. But that's beside the point. Like it's funny how I see people like, interact with, me and the community through certain platforms that I didn't expect to see like a couple months ago or last year or whatever, even a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it's kind of funny to see like the organic growth of people just deciding to post, not you having to like, poke and prod folks, encourage folks. That's a problem again, but that's another thing too. I'm surprised that the communities actually really come together around the Discord. It's interesting. It's not as like super active as others, but still, it's way more growth than I expected, honestly.
Yeah, you're getting replies and stuff from doing to nothing to getting replies from people. I mean, like whenever I posted in my Discord that I was gonna be live, I got like 4 or 5 people that said, "Okay, we'll be there," or most of them said W, but
W. That's
cool.
True. Like yeah, for sure. But it's like that's it though. Isn't it kind of crazy to see that, Johnny? Like
it's amazing. I love it.
Going from nothing to like having a couple buddies in there to like people that you become your friends or they become part of your community, however they contribute. Like it's always good to see.
Yeah, it's crazy. I went out to St. Louis actually for my one of my wife's tests that she has to do for her national board thing, and I remember that somebody lived around St. Louis. One of my followers did, and I asked him, "How close are you?" And it was like 20 minutes away, and we were gonna meet up, and then I guess something came up for him, but that would have been amazing. That would have been really cool to do. And I got really close to doing it, but something came up for him, so I was like, "Oh, no problem. If I come back, we'll do it."
Yeah. I've met some people like through Discord and through streaming and all that. Like I've actually met up with people, like at least one person. One of my friends, Tori, she's one of the VIPs like in the channel. Like we met up because she was driving through. She's super cool. I was also gonna meet another one of my actually she's another VIP too. Bird, like her and her husband were gonna be in Dallas, but that's actually the week I got COVID, like this past May, and so that obviously I couldn't go. But yeah, it's also cool. That's always cool to see. I also met a buddy of mine. He was actually speaking of Destiny, he was a Destiny raid buddy.
Okay, yeah.
Random, like Destiny LFG, random, super random. Just happened to be there, and like hundreds of hours later, yeah, I'm traveling. I was already traveling to Europe, but I was like, he's in the UK. I was like, I'm already here. You hop on a train, man. Easy 3 little hour ride. Yeah, we met up. Like it's crazy, man. Like I did take a picture though, because I'm the type of guy that live in the moment, Johnny.
Oh yeah, me too. I'm not huge on pictures either. Yeah, I love to live in the moment. I love to stream and stuff. I'd love to at one time do a IRL stream. That'd be cool. But I love to.
You should, man.
I mean, I've done a couple basketball streams, but.
Ooh. No, have you done a cookie stream?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I've done that. That one was actually a lot of fun. That's actually next.
No, not a cooking. I thought you said cookie. I did a cookie review stream.
Oh, really? That's funny. No, I meant like a cooking stream. No. I did a cooking stream, man. That actually a lot of fun, man. It was a lot of fun.
I would just be cooking ramen because I can't cook shit, man. I can't. I'm not good in the kitchen.
No, I feel you, man. Like I'm not. I mean, I'm better in the kitchen than I am with a lot of like just household, type of chores. Probably the best in that regard. It was fun though, man. It was fun. I made it, like I was actually not at home though. I was traveling at the time, but it was still. I think that's part of the reason why I did it. I was like, let me schedule it around this. We made some lamb. We made some broccoli.
That's crazy. Yeah.
It was super hearty, man. And yeah, we ate. I had my buddies come over. One of them was actually a mod. It's funny because I was in Miami. Like he's actually a mod in the channel, but I know him like personally. So yeah, they came through and we just ate. It was like a little 2.5 hours. It was super chill.
That's awesome.
I definitely like the idea of IR. Yeah, I definitely like the idea of doing that. I also wanted to do like more. This is something I've been wanting to do, but I'll get into why in a sec. But like, I wanted to do more like financial streams, like investment streams, because I had my MBA like in finance, and so I have my professional history is mainly in that field, like finance, financial journalism, and so I see, and I know that's a category on Twitch. I know that it's literally partners who their whole content, cycle and process is based around that. Just like pulling up, pulling up a terminal or pulling up their trading platform, listening to earnings calls, like, what's Elon Musk going to say about Tesla? Let's listen in, taking answers from, they take questions from like analysts. And yeah, just reviewing these things, looking at numbers, looking at charts. It's something that I'd wanted to do, but it's kind of like hard to mix that in with what I do professionally, just for like ethical reasons,
Right.
So yeah, but that's one thing I definitely want to do. I know like there's a lot of room for that, like IRL or like just hobby streams like that are really like, that's a good way to find people to bring to your community and to build, content through, I think. I don't know.
Right, and just be it would just be building that and figuring out exactly how to do it. That's what's tough about, figuring out what content you want to make. You have to build it up from scratch on your own,
Yeah, and yeah, it's got to be authentic too.
Yeah.
Like you can tell. I mean, there's nothing wrong with like finding new hobbies. Don't get me wrong, but you can tell when someone's like BSing, or they're like just not into it. You can tell the passion is missing, I think. But I got buddy King. Like he actually got partnered, because his main thing was like he made cups.
Okay.
It's really hard to describe, but
Just
it's
made
it's
cups.
actually like it's actually kind of like intensive work. Think about like glass blowing,
Okay,
something
yeah.
like that, or like pottery, that kind of thing. Like his is like more like goblets, right? And I think he does other stuff too.
Okay.
But it's super cool. It's super cool. And like that's what he got. I mean, he made a partner push. He got partner and all that stuff. That's what he does. But I think it actually might be like a business. So I don't think he really depends on like streamer money or anything like that. He doesn't depend on his partnership or anything like that with Twitch. To make a living, I guess you could say.
Right.
But it's super cool, man. That type of stuff can work, man. I saw another friend, Sky. Like, we started like streaming on Twitch and stuff around the same time. But she's also a partner, and she does like body paint. So she still plays games and stuff like Bigfoot. She plays like random, like just story-driven games, like Little Nightmares 2, for example. But like her main content is like doing body paint. And she's really good at it too. Don't get me wrong, but like that again, getting away from gaming and doing stuff like creatively like that, or whatever. Like that's also like I think a good way for a lot of folks to kind of figure out what their place is on this community or on Twitch, or YouTube or whatever, Facebook, whatever. But yeah, I think that's a good way to do it too. I like the idea of like diving into those other IRL type like content avenues.
Right, and I have wanted to just like bring my iPad or something and just stream my gym.
Yeah, gym streams, man. Heck yeah.
Pretty cool.
What's it called? Tyler One does like the powerlifting meets. He just had one I think this year. Yeah, so like that's totally a thing. Absolutely, there's a lot of partners and shit who like. I mean, he's obviously plays League, but like there's a lot of partners who, that's what they do. That's their main content. Like just them working out, showing how to do it correctly, training people and stuff like that.
Right.
You should do it, man.
I probably will. I just gotta work up the courage to do it. Gotta be able to.
Hey, I feel you, man. It ain't easy. Just because we're consistent with the content on live streaming doesn't mean it makes it easy or it makes it. The comfort level kind of doesn't still. There's still a little bit of anxiety there, a little bit of nervousness.
Right, and it's like, especially with like how some of the people are at the gym, they don't have any kind of filter.
I got
it's
you.
Like, I don't know. It's live, so I can't really do shit about it.
You're right.
And I don't know how people would feel about, being on camera in the first place. Because, I mean, some people don't like it.
Right, I got you. I think that in that case, I mean, I know a lot of. Here's the thing too, and this isn't. I'm not saying you should invest in one, but I know a lot of the fitness folks on Twitch. They have like home gyms.
Oh, that'd be great. I would love that.
It's like it's just like they're just a garage that they, retrofitted, with like mats and stuff like that, and like obviously free weights and stuff. But yeah, I know. No, I think that's part of it too. So there are. Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, dealing with the contingencies, or having contingencies for like, crazy things said on air, it's just like, yeah, it can be difficult to deal with. That's something that's a little out of your hands, though.
Right.
I hear you.
And especially being live on Twitch, I was like, I can't lose this,
Yeah.
I cannot. I've done too much and worked too hard.
That's our thing too, man.
Right.
Yeah.
we'll go to another question here. Did you? I'm gonna go back to with you. Did you always want to be a streamer, or when did you find out that you wanted to be a streamer or a content creator?
It wasn't really until like a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I would say I had lived most of my adult life before I was like, yeah, I think I could do this.
I mean, you've been doing pretty good from what I see.
You know what the thing is, man? I don't like. That's a crazy thing, though, Johnny. I always say it. I kind of say this jokingly, and it is a joke, like just for the meme. But I mean, I'm not even like bullshitting. Like, I don't have to do this, you know?
Right.
I could live a really quiet, peaceful, comfortable life doing what I do. You know, being online all the time, or like a good chunk of the time, is exhausting, man. Coming out with content regularly, pumping that out, is tough, man. And in the internet, if you live on the internet, you know, you have to move like that, like it does. You can be forgotten. You stop streaming for like a week or 2 weeks, you'd be surprised.
You gotta rebuild everything.
It just falls, and you can't. So it's like, but you know, we also live in this, you know, this kind of this idea that, you know, the hustle has to be always ongoing, and like, you know, sometimes it is important to rest. But how do you give yourself rest? Because you're gonna be stressed about not doing like what you're not doing.
Like, damn, I'm
FOMO
not streaming.
and all
I'm
that.
not making TikToks.
Yeah.
I'm not making content. Then you're like,
And,
I'm tired.
I'm tired, bro. Like, I can't even, like, you're mentally drained, man. So I hear it.
Right.
And so yeah, it's just that's always a difficult part to deal with.
Definitely.
You know.
When did you start streaming? And what made you start streaming?
Let's see. I guess I just wanted to kind of commit to it. So I started like, it was like July 2019. That's what I just like started. It wasn't, but it was. I wouldn't say I was really taking it seriously until last year. Until January 1st, 2021, I wasn't really taking it seriously. It was
right when I came in, perfect time, huh?
Yeah, exactly, man. So, but at that time, I was just like, I was, you know, kind of checking it out, seeing how it felt, learning more about it, how to do it, but also, like, honestly, I was also stacking up bread. Like, it's gaming itself is an expensive hobby, right?
Hello, welcome.
Liking technology is like, yeah, it is an expensive hobby, but you know, trying to combine the two with also this idea of content creation, you know, you need to have some capital for this. So while I was, you know, because I was streaming through a PC, but I was playing like mainly on my Xbox, you know.
Right,
so
that's how I
didn't
started
even
too. Yeah.
Exactly. I was on a console, so like, you know, I had built that PC and it was old, and it's still actually the same streaming PC I have, even though the hardware inside is like 7 years old. But I picked it well, so it still runs like a, you know, it's just like that old reliable bridge, you know, in town. It's like, you know, it's been around forever, and you never ever see any maintenance on it, but it hasn't fallen down, you know, so it's just reliable.
Right.
And yeah, so that's around when I started like officially. But I don't really. I think it was. I don't like I said. Like, I didn't really take it seriously until last year. So January 1st, 2021. Yeah, and even now, there's so much I could be doing to, I guess, quote unquote, take it seriously. But yeah, I guess if I was serious, I would quit my day job and go all in. But
right, yeah, it's a big risk. Well, with the year and a half or so that you've been streaming, what has been your favorite discovery of how content creation or streaming works, and what you learned from it, or anything like that?
Well, I'm in the content business, Johnny. I mean, you know, as someone who works as an editor for like a financial platform, 24-hour news cycle, 24/7, you know, news cycle. Like, it's the need for understanding how content drives user growth, or in our case, like viewer growth. That's something I've already kind of put together. It's already crystal for me. And again, I also have my MBA, so it's like I have the business side of this whole like streaming thing down, right? I think the part of me that's like learned what I've learned the most, I guess, or the thing that struck me as interesting was just like the human side of it. You know, where you don't need to have fancy graphics or slick design, you know, like really expensive looking production or anything like that. When it comes to your content, as long as you're authentic, you know, you're funny, you connect with people, you present like your best self, right? Your most authentic self. That's all you really need to do. That'll be enough to attract people. But the problem is, or the challenge, I should say, not a problem, but the challenge is, how do you reach more folks?
Right.
And that's kind of like one of the bad sides about this whole thing too, Johnny. Is like some people are, maybe they're cool, but they just might not have the correct dynamic to build a community and do streaming. So that's always a tough like gut check. But it's not to say that you shouldn't try though. Can't know until you try. But I also because I'm aware of my limitations too, man. I can only do so much in a given day. Working a full day, and like same thing with you, man. You got so many responsibilities. It's hard to determine like what to prioritize. I mean, you kind of know what you need to prioritize, but in terms of like what you're doing for this, it's hard to know what you need to prioritize, man. Should I spend more time at the Discord? Maybe I should do like a movie night, or maybe I should just grind and get like a really good rank. That way people, watch based off of that.
Right.
Or maybe I should do some more IRL. Because you see, like, it's a spiral, man. It's like, and then you just obsess over it for 4 hours, and then you realize it's time to go to bed. And you don't do anything. Right. So, except stress yourself out. So
exactly. Yeah.
That's back to like to answer your questions, like that human side of it. It's paying attention to that to make it to ensure that you're not like, again, presenting something that you wouldn't be proud of.
Right. You want to put your best content out. With like we were saying, with being tired and doing the timing and trying to figure out what you should do at what time and stuff. What time of the day do you get the most of your work done or your content creation done?
I'd say post like 8 p.m. Prior to that, I'm at work or handling stuff for my family or myself. Or I might be gaming, but I'm gaming like just for like me. Like I'm just chopping it up with some buddies over like a couple quick Apex pubs, or we're just doing a little Crucible and Destiny or something like that. They need help with the mission, whatever, like, or even just they want to show me clips, right? So I'm doing something kind of like social, right? But it's not really like live content, So, but after 8, it's like that. At that point, either I'm gonna be live, so in that sense, I'm working on this, or, I'm watching more streams than I normally. Normally, I like to only have like 1 or 2 streams up at most, but sometimes I'll pull up a couple different ones and just like take a look at people, what they're doing, what they're talking about, how people are responding. Just like you said, kind of like you alluded to, just like taking ideas, learning from people, what are best practices, good habits to pick up on, bad habits to break, that kind of thing. And also, I also know just me personally, right? It's like I'm more creative like at night. Maybe it's just because it's quiet, people aren't like pinging me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm able to kind of like get into that stream of consciousness, right? Where like I feel like my creativity flows out the best. And so that's when like I told you, I mentioned like I wrote a script for a video recently. Like I wrote that like like at 1 a.m. or something,
Right.
So,
you're like,
I just had. I was like, you catch the wind, so to speak. Like think about it. Like you just catch it on your sails and you go. So yeah, that's probably when. But then at some point, I'd tell you this one thing, Johnny. Like one thing that's probably not so great. A bad habit is like I do sleep like really, really like weird hours. If I probably had like more like a more stable family home unit, probably be different. But as a single dude, it's like, I can kind of, for the most part, I still have some familial responsibilities, right, for my parents, and I'm also like soon to be uncle, so like it's a lot of things that I gotta do for like my family, but otherwise, I can kind of handle things on my own, or I just kind of have to look out for myself. But that means that I've gotten into these bad habits of sleeping like for short bursts at a time, taking naps and stuff like that. Like, that's one thing I really need to focus up on. I was just thinking that to myself.
I do need. I usually take a nap when I get home too. I try to.
So you're there. I think it's just because I'm not managing my energy right. But anyway, go ahead.
With what you found with your main games that you've had, since you more like to classify as variety, what are 3 games that you recommend for my audience? Let me think here.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the options. Well, I mean, I like Dead by Daylight. I also think that it's a game where there's a lot of like, obviously they designed this on purpose, but it worked out in such a way that playing it is actually good for content creation and for streaming. Um, excuse me. Because it's one of those games where if you put TTV in your name, people will come to your channel. Like you can put your TTV in like Apex, for example, which is a way more popular game, and no one will pull up.
People will just see TTV and like, oh, cool. I don't, whatever.
Oh, no, like the best case is no one comes, because typically
right. It's
in
gonna
Apex,
be toxic.
It's gonna be toxic. It's either like you're a effing rat, or like you suck. Like just because they killed you, they see TTV and they come to your stream.
Especially
and
COD too. Yeah, that's huge.
It's never, no one ever said like, wow, man, I saw you get like 10 kills and then you killed me and then you won the game. I'm here to follow you out of respect.
It's always
that
like your ass.
That's delusional. That's delusional. I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. Like, it's unless you're like already like established or to a certain degree, because there's a lot of really good Apex streamers like who are predators who like don't have like a huge following necessarily or a huge viewership.
Right.
So that's good, especially if you're playing with someone who's like established. If you're playing with a partner, absolutely like put TTV in your name, absolutely, right? But but yeah, so to go back to the recommendation, like Dead by Daylight, on the other hand, while you will get toxic people, that's just the nature of Dead by Daylight, right? There's a lot of folks who will come through and say, hey, I was your killer, or hey, I was a survivor, that was a fun game, or
you did this good, sorry. Oh, I didn't do that right, or
that's one thing. Yeah, I will say, like, if you do that in Dead by Daylight, like they are people who are DTV they'll look you up. The folks who do that. So so if just purely off of that, that's like kind of what you're trying to, your angle is, then I would say Dead by Daylight's a good game to do that through. But like me and Johnny kind of established earlier, like, you shouldn't play a game if you don't like it. Like, you shouldn't create content based off something you're not really into, because a lot of people who play Dead by Daylight once and that's it.
Yeah,
because it's not for everyone.
You have to project the best point of yourself. Have to. Yeah,
and then you're not going to be able to do that if you're not having fun. If you're not enjoying the game.
Must have fun on the game you're playing to be able to project best point of yourself.
You think it's like like obvious, but no. Like, some people do it. Like, they pick a game that's popular or whatever just because they expect it, just because it's a huge reach, but no one ever comes through. They wonder why. But anyway, yeah, Dead by Daylight's one, so definitely check that out. It's fun too. I think it's fun. I really like it. It's an asymmetric survival horror game, so like that alone, all those three words combined together like are so rare. Now they got like VHS and stuff like that, but whatever. It's a fun game. Another game that I'd recommend. Trying to think. I mean, I could just say the games that I play, but to a certain degree, that it's not. It wouldn't be. They're not bad games or anything,
Right.
But like, I'm trying to think of something like. That maybe. That's kind of unique. More of a unique answer. Let's see. Oh, here's a game. Actually, I'd recommend this. Doom. The new one.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Doom Eternal, right? They just came out in a different game, Metal Hellsinger. It's not the same thing, not the same company, but I found that game because I was playing Doom. And there's a lot of folks who are passionate about the game. It's got like a really tight-knit community. Now, it's not for everyone, right? Obviously, you got kind of like Metal, you have to like kind of more difficult single-player games. But that's a game I still mean to play it, but I played it for a little while because you only do so much. There is some PvP, but it's not really that active. And single player and like the running, trying to go like the hardest difficulty, you only have one life, right? So trying to do that, like, that's like a big accomplishment. Ultra Nightmare, like, that's the name of the like the game mode difficulty. Yeah, that's like why people watch it and play it. It's for that. So, but I met like some people through that, and they've stuck around. So they come through no matter what I'm playing, and so it's just like one of those games where I don't know. I liked it, and it allows you to play at a high level, play something difficult, right? So kind of be a little impressive. Like I'm watching this because you're playing it well, like good stuff, right? But it's also not overly stressful, and you don't have to deal with. This is the big thing that it's PVE. So there's no other people to be rude to you or be toxic and like that. It's just you versus you, So that's always a good thing.
And it'd be people coming in mainly because of the skill and the skill that you're doing because you save
or they want to
life.
watch you play.
Right.
Yeah, they want to watch you play. It's got a tight knit community, so people come through and like now. Granted, like not everyone's gonna stick around if you're not playing it, right? But and again, I just say if you want, I recommend it because it's one of those games where you can play it, cycle through it, and then you can kind of go back to your other games. But it's good to like just
to fill in, good fill in.
Yeah,
game.
yeah. Potentially meet people too, man. So I'm trying to think for the third game. For the third game. This is. I'm gonna give you. I haven't played this. I think I might play it this weekend.
Right.
But I haven't played this in a while. But one game that I liked, and it's kind of like completely different compared to what even between me and you, what we play, is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Oh yeah, I've seen you play that. That's actually really good for engagement and stuff like that. Yes, that's great.
A lot. It's got like speaking of like communities are like kind of close knit and really like engaged. This is one of them. I met some people who are super cool through that. Now a lot of them were like content creators stuff like that, but some folks are like I could hit them up like right now. Literally, I could go to my Discord, message them and say, hey man, you want to go on some group flights? Like, yeah, I'm actually already on, right? So like
I'm playing right now.
So exactly. So like yeah. But it's a game that you don't. You can't really. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can right there. I have like the yoke, like an actual yoke, and I have pedals and all that. So I actually have.
Oh wow, okay.
Right, it's actually it's really fun to use, and I know a lot of people like talking about that. I do not recommend. Please don't invest in this just because you heard Zappa say this. But like, I like the game.
Please don't do it.
Yeah. Because it's expensive. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want people to be like, oh, I'm going to do what he does and this will help me grow or whatever. But like, anyway, like I met people through it and I do get a lot of engagement and I met some cool folks through it. And it's just one of those games that's kind of like just different, You'd be surprising how many people, or you'd be surprised at how many people would enjoy it's like almost like an ASMR thing. It's like just listening to the engines, listening to you travel through the air. I got some music on usually while I play. So yeah, maybe I'll have a conversation or maybe we'll just like quietly just like ride. It's like a nice view. Typically I pick like really interesting places to fly around. Yeah, you'd be surprised how big of a market there is for that.
I actually, whenever you were playing it, I thought about getting it. I was like, that's really awesome for engagement and for people to be able to come in and be like, hey, go around this area. That's where I live by, or something like that.
Yeah. Or you can do like there's a lot of like landmarks and stuff too. You can fly over the Grand Canyon. You can fly underneath the Eiffel Tower. I've done that.
Oh, that's cool.
Super illegal, obviously.
Obviously,
super illegal, but you can actually do that. And you can play with the keyboard and mouse. You can play with the controller even, I think. You know me, I like to sweat and everything. So
you gotta have the pitch and the angles and everything. So
but it's fun though, man.
Yes.
I just really like hooking it up, and it just it's because I got the throttle too as well. Even that is like it's interactive. I mean, that's the word I'm looking for. It's like it's interactive. So yeah. But those are 3 games though, man. Dead by Daylight, Doom, and Microsoft Flight Sim. Obviously, other games are awesome though. I'm definitely always happy to throw out some ideas there when it comes to that.
So with everybody that you've seen on Twitch, and I know you said you have a lot of friends on here that have had a partner push and everything like that. Have you had a professional mentor or anybody that you've seen that has helped you a lot or have taught you mainly most of the stuff or I know you're mainly self-built, but is there a single person you could single out or a couple?
No, I don't think I've really gotten that mentor experience. Not yet.
Right.
There's people who I know folks who are connected themselves, right? I know people who are partners and all that. I wouldn't say I'm really cool with them like that. But I'm not like a stranger either, you know. Like, I could have hit them up for advice and things like that. And I know people who are like making the push too. They're not partners yet, but I mean, I tune into their stream, you know. So like,
Right.
yeah, and I know there's a lot of people who are there, like they're well above the average number or whatever. It's like 75 or something like that. Yeah, I know that I see that they're like putting in the work. But no, I don't think I really had like much of a mentor. I think mainly it's because it's not so much that you need a mentor, you know, it's that you need someone to put you on.
Right.
That's kind of like a fact of this whole thing. Like, you know, yes, you can grind, you can post daily, triple daily, double daily, you know, posts on every platform. But nothing, the biggest thing that can really help is knowing someone who can help you who can bring viewers literally to your channel by having big raids or playing with them, offering to play with them, do duos for like 5 hours while they're live, and then they raise you right afterwards, you know, that kind of thing. Like,
what's up, Crowns?
the networking is super important. The networking is super important, you know. So while I've established like that kind of those kind of like, you know, connections, I don't have like a mentor now. I would say I have anyone like who's been like guiding me. Yeah, mainly because I kind of trust myself on it. I know what I need to do, and I know what I'm not doing. So that's why I'm going that other route, where I'm just trying to, you know, see these guys as like, well, these guys and gals as like peers, you know. So establish that mutual professional respect, and you know, go from there. Because I understand. Because I mean, yeah, I don't gotta explain it to you, Johnny, but like, I'm a business guy. You know, I went to business school. We did mixers and all that stuff, networking events. That's part of it. I know how to schmooze. I know how to connect with people. But, you know, I also come at it from an authentic place. It's not like I'm just trying to use people. You know, I'm not using them as a means to an end. I want to provide value too. So that's why, like, you know, some people invite me to play because I'm skilled. And that's my thing. You can try, if you invite me to play, I will not embarrass you. I will do my part. Promise you, man. I'll clutch it up for you. I mean, I can't always do it, but yeah, that's something that people know. If they invite me, like, you're gonna get a skilled player. So that's kind of, and so you look out for someone when they, you know, they want to play a game and you're good at it, and whatever. They're like, they have a lot of viewers or something like that. You know, just play the game correctly, do your thing, help them, do your best to make sure that they learn and that, you know, they look good. It's just like, no, it's no different from like making your manager or your boss look good, and then you get a promotion, you get a raise, you get all that. Like, it's the same thing here, you know. Help people and they'll help you.
Yes, exactly. So that's my main thing, is what I always tell my people. I was like, whoever's in here with me, you guys are coming up with me, because I'm not going to give up on it. I'm going to keep doing it.
Hey, I like the commitment, man. So, that's how you got to do it, though. You can't approach it any other way.
With this community, I'm saying everybody eats.
Yeah. Build tables, man, not fences, bro.
Right. Had something in my head. With it getting kind of close to the hour mark, I want to start to transfer over to I know you've seen a lot about discoverability and stuff on Twitch and other platforms and stuff like that. How do you feel the discoverability is on Twitch so far and right now at this point?
I mean, I think it's better than it was. In like some literal ways, like you could add 10 tags to a stream instead of 5 now. They literally doubled that.
Right.
Of course, that reach was nothing already. It's like nothing times 2 is
nothing.
So, yeah, right. So like, you double 0.1%. Yeah, it's great. But I mean, again, like, look, whatever.
With those, it is, you know, like as we are talking about just discoverability on Twitch. I mean, it doesn't really go. I mean, it goes hand in hand, but it's not really on Twitch anymore. But you just have to market yourself out to, you know, every platform and every other social media and stuff.
Making content, it doesn't matter if it's live stream, it's video content, writing articles, that kind of stuff, doing an email list, like, you know, newsletter kind of thing. All that stuff, it's the same process across the board for the most part. You typically, it's called like a sales funnel basically, but so what you call, but it's how it starts is you got one end is where you're pulling in your viewers or or your customers or your users, right? And you funnel them in to where you want them to be. Uh, a recurrent viewer, a regular community member, a subscriber. You know, you kind of create these goals or these milestones, but that's the funnel essentially, and it's the same again across the board. You know, people have their Instagram or their Pinterest, and that pushes people to their YouTube, and then people use your YouTube to to do affiliate partnerships, sell products, product placement, that kind of thing. Twitch is the same thing. You have YouTube and your Instagram or TikTok, and that is what drives people to your Twitch. And on Twitch, that's where they buy your merch. That's where they sub.
Right. That's where you want everybody to, all your traffic to be at.
Yeah. So it's always the same. It's going to be the same across the board for the most part. So whatever you can do to kind of like help stimulate that, that's kind of the approach you want. Answer the question? That's kind of like what we were talking about, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, but when it comes to discoverability though, Twitch has gotten better about it. They even added this thing where, you know, they have the hype train. They got a boost train now.
Oh, really? So, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah. Brad just saw it. I saw it on a partner stream though, so it's kind of like, man,
it's got to be partners,
yeah. Well, I don't know. But I know partners definitely have it, right? So like, it's just like any other new feature. Like they're gonna obviously get it first. Maybe affiliates will get it. Yeah, obviously the average user probably not. But yeah. So that's a new thing now though. So in the same way a hype train will reward emotes, that kind of thing. The boost train actually literally boosts the channel, like up on the page, like on whatever they're playing.
Recommended
or whatever.
page.
Like, yeah, that's literally what, and that's that's what everyone wants. That's really that's part of the reason why, like, whenever I visit my friends' streams, you know, whatever, I always like try and do like a little donation. You know, it's I don't really watch cable or pay anything like that, so that little extra bit of cash I would be funneling toward a service, I kind of put that toward, like, I guess my tipping budget, I guess you call it. But yeah, but that helps. You know, it helps when Twitch's algorithm detects that people are engaging in that way. But the boost posting is like literally like that's the whole premise. The thing is though, it's driven by like donations, so it's like
it's all donations driven, and it's all from it's all from profit and not like ads like YouTube.
Well, it's like the thing is, it's like if people want to help you, like they have to donate money. And it's like, you know, there's other ways. Twitch has experimented with other ways to boost people. Like there's a point where you could do it through like channel points. I don't know if you saw that, but I didn't get access to that. But I had a buddy who did, and I think it helped them a lot. But yeah. So the boost post or the boost that boosting thing is like, yeah, you gotta like clearly Twitch has they got a hand in that, you know. So it's like, oh, we're gonna boost your streamer, and the community is like, yeah, that's great, that's what we want, and the streamer's like, yeah, that's perfect. And Twitch is like, yeah, but you gotta pay us to do it. So we're gonna take our cut for this to help to move around a couple like lines of code for you, right? It's like, so I mean, you benefit, but it's at an expense, you know.
Right.
It's fine though, you know. People who are engaged, like I said, I don't mind like donating and stuff, but there is like an ulterior motive for Twitch to do this.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Yeah, because they're gonna get paid more because people are gonna be more likely to donate.
If there's, we'll just stick on the topic of Twitch right now. What, if there was anything that you think Twitch could do better, anything like with any type of content or, you know, whatever they're doing, is there anything that you think that Twitch could do better, or do you think they're doing just fine?
Unfortunately, Johnny, this is like a what's it called? I mean, it's just a business where you can't boost people up. Right. This is very like it's any other business. It's zero sum, right? For there to be winners, right? People who can do this for a living and all that, they're gonna be folks who just don't make it.
Right.
You know, at some point they're gonna burn out. You know, it's just like, so with that in mind, it's like there's only so much Twitch can do. You know, they could boost people all day and they can try and, but folks aren't gonna click it. You know, there's a lot of psychology behind why people click through and go to your stream. So that's something that Twitch, really Amazon, right? It's just something that you can't really control that. But with that said, as well, I feel like we could, you know, I wish we could let everyone get access to these like possibility or these opportunities to boost stuff up. Like for example, like right now, starting on the 15th up until October 15th, it's Hispanic Heritage Month, right? And it's like, I'm a Hispanic content creator. I use the that tag, but I would love a chance to like apply so I could be like highlighted.
Right.
I think my content's pretty freaking good, man.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who's doing what I do. I can't tell. Last night I went flawless. You don't know what the hell this means, but in Destiny they have this thing called Trials of Osiris, and like you go flawless. It's like one of the hardest things you can do in the entire game, right?
Yep.
It's PvP. You have to win 7 games in a row. I did that live last night. I don't know anyone else who's doing that. You can turn around and play Dead by Daylight at an iridescent high MMR level. That can 360 killers, run people for 2 minutes, like, and then turn around and then again go to like something like Flight Sim and fly a freaking
And just
Cessna,
chill and fly
Cessna
around.
172. Yeah, and take off and land it, safely
with no problem.
With no problem. I don't know anyone that could do that, man. At least in my demographic. So it's like I want to be a chance to showcase my talent, right? So how do I? And even my name and my branding and all that is like super, about like pride and all that. It's like Hispanic, just like heritage and all that. It's like I'm literally doing that on a daily basis. Like how do I get an opportunity? How are people being selected to like, be boosted up or whatever, be included? Like I feel like Twitch should give people opportunity to get involved in some way like that, especially when it comes to like cultural opportunities. It's kind of like I wish I had a way to do that. I wish I could say like, look at my stuff, look at my. It's the same way that games allow you to apply. Like certain games will allow you to apply to be like a partner.
Right.
Like Hunt Showdown, you could be like a Crytek partner, right? So yeah, I mean every game has that kind of thing, right? Your Dead by Daylight has like the Fog Whisperers, but you can apply for that. Some people are like invite only, that's fine, but like you can apply for these things, and it's like same way you can apply for being a Twitch partner. But I wish you could apply for opportunities to boost your
right.
Your,
so I feel
content.
like a great idea would be like have they could do like a Twitch showcase, and that you could just, hey, here's my content, this is what I do, and this is why I want to be able to be in the showcase. They could have just like this one section, boom, there's the showcase, and these people are highlighted for now. I mean, that's what things that I could think of, but it's like, obviously, like you said, it is a business that it's all about the psychology of why people will click and why people will come in and why people will stick around.
Yeah, and no, but and I guess to just put like a bow on it, like yeah, I also wish that Twitch would like roll out these features. I know you're saying you got test features up for a little bit, but I wish they would roll out more features to help people boost posts, like the thing where you could do a channel points, like you could boost up a channel. Like I know that made a difference for some people that I like
too.
My friends. Yeah, so I didn't get that opportunity. It's kind of shitty, like. But I'm glad that for example, they let you do like the follower emote thing, or get the animated emotes. That's huge. That was a huge thing. Like, so I'm glad that they offer that to affiliates. See, I don't understand why they roll out things like the what's it called, the boost train. Like, I don't understand why they're giving it to partners who already have like
that are already boosted.
Like, I don't understand, and they're already making a living off of it. Like,
right.
Like, I think I wish they would give people who have smaller but more engaged, not more engaged, but like small but still engaged communities a chance to do that.
Right.
Help their streamer, like help their community. It just sucks that these features aren't always rolled out to folks, but they should do that. Especially if you're an affiliate. If you're an affiliate, there should be no excuse why they didn't roll this out. Like, it's one thing to be like a streamer, but maybe you're not like at that affiliate status. But if you made it to affiliate, it's like they should give us an option, man. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Well, with my, I won't say like expertise, but with my my ideas in like management and like because of how I've managed most of the places that I've worked, you want to work on the smaller people and the people that had just started, so you can make your team stronger. When you have those people that know everything and they know what they're doing, you let them aces in their places, and you let them be where they need to be, and you put them where they need to be so they can teach the other people. So going on to Twitch about that, I mean, if you have those people that are making you that money, obviously don't forget about them. But if you could work on smaller people and have those showcases and those boosts and things like that for the smaller people, I just feel like it would just benefit them even more than just giving it to the partners and like the bigger people.
I'm saying, man. But yeah, you preach to the choir.
Yeah, that's just how we do it. With getting to the around the end here, I want to start having viewers ask me or you questions, or me and you, or just asking questions about streaming or just about us or anything like that. If anybody has anything to ask, go ahead and do that in this segment. We'll ask you another question. We'll wait for other people to, or Twitch to catch up.
You're fine.
What is something that in streaming and content creation that you've found that most people don't agree with, if there is anything?
I don't like putting TTV in my like Steam or anything like that.
Right.
Most people would agree that that's probably a good idea to do it. The reason I don't like doing it though is because I'd rather avoid toxic people than possibly meet new folks.
Right.
And so for me, but everyone would agree, like, that's something you can't do. Like you're missing out on an opportunity to potentially find someone. Because even if it's just like one a day, right? That accumulates, right? It's you know, it's piecemeal, but it's like it's worth it essentially. To put that to like advertise it like that way. That's just like a simplest form of marketing you could really do. But so again, most people will disagree with me and say like, no, you should put that in there. You should, if you're trying to be a streamer, you're gonna have to deal with toxic people. It's just what it is. I get that, but I'm not gonna invite that either. You know, it's like,
right.
It's like I know there's gonna be flies and mosquitoes and stuff outside my house, right? But I'm not gonna leave all my windows open to let them come in, right? I mean,
right.
It's like, yeah,
just to get a good airflow.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah. So that's something that people would disagree with me with, or a lot of people will. But I'll change my mind. I'll change my mind maybe, but for the most part, that's why. Especially with the game,
like we said, it does depend on the game and what had happened in the game and stuff like that.
Yeah, and it's, again, people will see things from their perspective. You know,
right.
I spent one DBD game, like I was getting chased the entire fucking game. Right, I didn't touch a gen, or I touched it once, but I ran this killer for like 2.5 minutes, which is a lot if you're not getting chased and you're just sitting on a gen. It's 90 seconds, right? So I'm getting chased. Let's do the math here. I'm getting chased. 3 people not getting chased, right? Working on gens at the same time. You know, it's like you're obviously gonna be able to bang it out, right? Anyway, I didn't touch a gen, but the killer just tunnels me in. He eventually catches me, tunnels me into the ground. I'm out, and then the game ends or whatever. I think like 1 or 2 people got out maybe, but like, you know, like a person in the chat was like, you know, what did you even do in this game? I didn't see. You know, did you even get a gen done? Like it was my fault that they didn't get out, even though I did one of the hardest parts of the game, which is to distract the killer. They didn't see that though. It's their perspective, you know. Did I deserve, you know, someone to, you know, I didn't come into like the actual chat, right? They were just in the DVD chat, but like, Did I deserve that? No. Anyone who watched my perspective would be like, you did a ton. You were the reason you got a couple of those gens done. Why you even got like into the late game, right? Without me, the game would have been over a long time ago.
Well, you got it
again, Johnny. Yeah. It's just what it is. It's like, you know, so it's like I can't do anything about that. I know that I won't be able to avoid people being toxic just because of that, just because of change or difference of perspective. But I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not gonna invite it into my life either. You know,
exactly.
It's fine. It's fine. If you're that curious and look me up, fine. But
then come on in. But you know, whatever.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna tell you, man. I don't want to hear it.
Roadkill says, what's your favorite survivor build on Dead by Daylight? Your favorite killer? We'll just go with those two. So your favorite Dead by Daylight build and your favorite killer.
Right now, my favorite killer is Spirit. I like her. She's strong, and she has good add-ons that allow you to deal with Swifts. For those of you who don't know what Swift is, it's surviving with friends. It's like when people group up, essentially. Makes the game a lot more difficult if you're the killer, but a lot easier for the survivor. So she's good for dealing with them. In terms of the build, like my current favorite, let's see, I'm trying to think. What is it? Yeah, okay, there it is. Parental Guidance, Bite the Bullet, Circle of Healing, and Smash It. right? The reason I like those is because it's got an exhaustion perk, which allows you to, give yourself a speed boost. It allows you to escape. That's what parental guidance is for. So it hides your scratch marks, grunts of pain, and blood. And the other two are just good for like teammates, healing quietly as well as giving people. You set up the boon totem with circle of healing. It's an S tier perk. It's like the only S tier survivor perk in the game now. But that's my current favorite build. And I should, if I was organized, if I was doing what I was supposed to do, I'd be like, just go to my YouTube and check it out. I already got a video about it, but I don't.
Yeah, check out my YouTube.
Soon though, but see, that's the thing right there, Johnny. If I was ready, I would have been had a video. Could have just said, "Look, there it is, easy plug." But anyway, yeah, and I'm happy to talk more about it. But that's the build for me, and that's the answer to the question for Killer.
Okay. Roadkill also says, "What's the biggest advice you give for new streamers?"
The biggest advice. This is gonna be the third time we touch on this topic.
Yes,
it's important.
Very important.
I want to emphasize this. Okay, pick a game you like. Okay, that you enjoy. All right, because even if you play other stuff, you really need to have that anchor game for the community. Okay, or anchor games, but typically one. So make sure whatever game you're gonna be playing regularly, you see yourself playing. It's a game that you're actually having fun with.
And like he's not saying, just be that, only play that game ever.
Exactly.
He's saying
pick
games or a game that you enjoy, so you will have that attitude and you will project the best version of yourself every stream.
There's a game too, by the way, that I like a lot. I played it. I think maybe we talked about it, Johnny, but it was Hades.
Oh yeah.
Little platformer. Yeah. All right. And so I put 128 hours into it. I'm looking at the number now on Steam, right? And so I didn't, but initially I just like watched someone play it a couple times, and someone gifted it to me. Streamer benefits, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But I played the heck out of it, because I just ended up liking it so much, right? And I got really good at it or whatever. And yeah, so again, like as Johnny's saying, I just want to kind of emphasize it, like. Don't cut yourself off to potential games that active discovery. So try out stuff. Because you never know what you'll like. But once you do land on it, go all in. That's what I did with Hades, and again, it was super useful. Like, I haven't played it in a while, so I'm not sure if a lot of folks I met through it are like. I think they're coming in quietly, right? Shout out to the lurkers, the backbone of Twitch, right there, are the lurkers, man. But yeah, I met a lot of really cool people with Hades. And again, because it's also a PvE, you don't have to deal with toxic people. It's just like people who are generally interested in the game or generally want to help you learn it or whatever.
Right. He says, this is a different one from streaming, but what's the best food you ever ate?
Best food I ever ate? Johnny, can I get emotional for a second?
Anytime you're in here, of course.
Oh, the best food I ever ate, it was a woman I was dating, actually, like a couple, like pretty recently, like last 2 years. I went to visit her, whatever, and I was super hungry. I got off the plane, and this is when we were still obviously dating, but she made this like super simple plate of spaghetti, just like sauce, noodles, in like a little pan, literally right in front of me. And I tell
Thank you, Xavier. Appreciate you, buddy.
And that was the best spaghetti I ever had, ever.
Right?
30 years of living. Like I was like, this is the best spaghetti I ever had, and I think it's because she put love into it. That's why. It was because it was particularly like unique. It wasn't like expensive or rare or nothing like that. This is stuff you could buy at like the grocery store. Just pulled it right out of the pantry. But she put love into it. And I was like, man, this spaghetti is fucking amazing.
Yeah, blushing.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like again, we're not dating anymore, but yeah. I mean, it's a simple thing.
They did it for you, and then they really appreciated it. Yeah, heck yeah.
Yep, that's it though.
Any upcoming games that we are excited for? I'll say mine is, like I said, Dead Island 2. That's gonna be great. Hopefully. I hope to God they don't make it like Dying Light 2. Dying Light 2 was not very good. It's pretty much the same developers.
Right, it is actually. Yeah, no, you're right
Yeah,
about
it's
that.
what is it? Techno something. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I hope it's not exactly like Dying Light 2, because that was very underwhelming, and I love Dying Light 1. I love every single Dead Island, and I just hope they do good. What do you got?
Techland.
Yeah, Techland, that's what it is.
There.
What do you got, Zappa?
It's not really a new game, but it's like Overwatch 2 coming out in a couple weeks. That looks pretty good. I was a big Overwatch guy when it came out. I stopped playing everything. That's like the one game where I actually had like a legitimate amount of like MMR to be considered like a master. Like it was literally that was the rank when I stopped playing. Now there's like Grandmaster and Top 500, but that was in Overwatch. That was like I grinded the hell out of that on Overwatch, like or on Xbox. This is before I made the transition to PC fully, but yeah, Overwatch 2 coming out now, so that means like all the ranks and stuff like that, you know, MMRs are all gonna be reset, you know.
Right.
So it's not only is it a game that I'm like good at and I enjoy playing and I have friends to play with, but it's potentially an opportunity, you know, to be highly, you know, skilled and to be like highly ranked in that game. It's like people will come to the channel just based off of that, you know, just to say like I am a Grandmaster tank. Come watch me play this game, and people will come through. And
Right.
I like the game, so I won't have a problem not only talking about it, but being enthusiastic and helping people. So that's a game, as much an opportunity as it's just purely like, I just like it. I just do like the game. And when the beta was out, we streamed it, we played it. Other than that, I'm trying to think what else is there that I'm kind of like keeping an eye on.
Johnny's life. He's trying to play.
This is random, but like World of Warcraft, Wrath of the Lich King,
Right.
comes out next week. So that's kind of cool. I might check that out. I'm not really a big like MMO grinder, but yeah, that seems like I like that was when I was playing WoW. This was like years ago, but you know they're doing like the whole WoW Classic thing, and this is where they're at in terms of the reboot. So I think I might check that out. That seems kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I played a little bit of
nostalgia, you know.
Yeah, I played a little bit of World of Warcraft, but I was mainly a RuneScape guy.
Hey, that's cool too. Hey, no, that's
I still
that's
have
cool.
my 2007 account.
You're still eating off of that. Wow.
I still have that boy. Yeah.
Yeah. See, you never delete it, man. Never fully delete it.
Xavier here says, "What about your favorite? What's your favorite game to play?" Probably
At the
Dead by
moment?
Daylight, correct?
At the moment, I actually like Destiny a little more right now.
Oh man, okay.
I do like Dead by Daylight, but Destiny is probably the one I'm like into. Like even just like watching Destiny streams or watching Destiny YouTube videos, going in and not even playing the game, or not like actually actively doing like an activity, just kind of like tinkering with my, you know, with my armor or my build. A lot of theory crafting, I guess you could say. So it's like appealing to that side of my brain, you know.
Yeah.
But Dead by Daylight is obviously a game I really like too. It's
I
just
did
that
really
feel
enjoy
like-
Destiny like that, because I did like how you customize your person with colors, different styles of armor, and if you really grinded, you could get that cool armor.
You know what's crazy is that Destiny is a game where like you could literally build, like you can do content just on the fashion.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, how
just
cool
like,
it looks.
look
Like,
at-
this is my
look how this
color.
looks,
This is this
Yeah.
color. I can
Mhm.
make make my guy look like this person.
Yeah,
I've
it's a
seen
big one.
I've seen
Like,
people
it
try
look-
to make like Master Chief on Destiny, and
Yeah, yep. Or I've done I did one where I did like it was like you ever watch Rugrats?
Yeah.
Reptar.
oh
They
really?
had like a little Tyrannosaurus type thing for Titans, and like so I put like it was like purple and green, and it looked like it. That's what I called it. I also did one that kind of looks like Mr. Freeze, you know,
Okay.
from Batman. So like,
Pretty
yeah,
awesome.
just silly things like that. Yeah, silly things like that. I built it like I didn't post it or nothing like that. Again, missed opportunity, but whatever. Anyway,
Happens, yeah.
But Destiny 2 is one I'm like super engaged with right now, like on a PvP and PvE level. So like I'm playing at a high level against other players, but we're also doing like the end game content like raids and Master Nightfalls. For those of you who don't know Destiny, anything I'm saying right now doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
but,
these are gonna be you know, over the
Yeah.
heads.
but it's fine. But just know that that's the game. Like to answer
Right.
your question, Xavier, like that's what I'm like enjoying the most. I'm getting like a lot of
That
fun out of it.
question, Roadkill, it always gets me. I believe I know mine, but Sapa, what was your first game you ever remember playing?
First game I ever remember playing, ever.
Ever. Like ever.
Ever. Okay.
That's tough for me too. I believe mine was the Pokemon saga, like Fire Red, Leaf Green, and stuff like that on my Game Boy. I played Soul Silver and Heart Gold, and I believe those were mine, and those were amazing. I mean, it was a turning point in most handheld game systems when Pokemon came out. It was an RPG, but you could also catch different things and expand your Pokédex and do a whole bunch of stuff. I played Atari. Right. I have played Atari, but my first ones were definitely.
Yeah, I don't go back that far, unfortunately. But I will say, okay, it's gonna be one of two answers here, Johnny. Again, maybe partially because it's my own fried memory, but also just I'm pretty sure. But like the one I remember playing first was just like the NES, like Mario, like that version of it, right? So that was like I just ever touched when I was a kid, though. I was like super young, but I was like even like almost like barely a toddler, barely more than that. Like, but anyway, but in terms of like the game that really stood out to me, like my first game, I guess you could call I was grinding it, so to speak, or I was like just really into it, was actually also another Mario game, Super Mario World on SNES.
Right.
That one was that's like one of the games where like I didn't even own a system at the time, but my neighbor did, and so I'd go over, hang out, and we'd play some games, whatever. Yeah, so that was probably like the first time I ever touched was probably Mario. I guess I didn't think it was Super Mario at the time. I think it was just Mario Brothers, but the NES version. Right. But in terms of like the actual game that like probably had an impact on me, like gaming wise, it was Super Mario World on SNES.
Mario 64, I do remember playing that. I don't know the timeline, but I played Mario 64. I played GTA 1. I played GTA 2. I played all like the Sonic the Hedgehogs and stuff like that on Dreamcast. And I don't know the timelines of them, but my recollection is probably like where I had
all in there, man.
The most fun was Pokemon.
Yeah, for sure. I did the first Pokemon I did was Blue. I was a Blue guy. That was my wave. But then after that I got Gold.
Sapphire.
And then after that, and then I think I probably at that point I kind of stopped. Like once you started getting into what was that, like fourth, fifth?
Yeah, like DS and stuff when it came out.
Yeah. We're talking about like Crystal, Pearl, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I didn't really like them either.
I just didn't get into it. I'm just like, that's what it was.
I played
Pokemon Go, man. Hey,
Yeah, I played Pokemon Go for a long time. We had a park where actually almost every corner of the park had a Pokestop. And it was perfect because you could just walk in circles. Boom, hit the Pokestop. And by the time you got to this one, it was respun.
True.
So every time you walked, Pokestop, all the way around.
That's funny, man. Yeah. No, but that's the thing. So in terms of Pokemon, that was probably like, the earliest I did was Blue.
Favorite starter in Blue?
Favorite starter? I was a Squirtle guy, man. The water, man.
I was a Charmander. I was always Charmander.
That's fine.
I was always fire on everything. Well, my thing was with Pokemon. Me, my brother, and my uncle. There was usually 3 different types of Pokemon games, and then they dumbed it down to 2. So my brother used to be grass, my uncle would be water, and I'd be fire. We would
you guys
progress.
Had that
We would progress through the game almost at the same time, and we get through it. And if somebody passed up, they would wait. So it'd be like that.
Yeah. Even keeled, man. No, exactly. And my brother was he was a Charmander red, like that side.
We were those in-depth guys. Like we would try to see if each game had a different aspect to it or something like that, and we try to compare what we did to the other games. So I thought that was pretty cool for us to do that.
Oh yeah, man. But I went with I was a Squirtle dude. So I just like how Blastoise looked. Like he had the cannons on the back.
All right, Xavier, appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for coming in, man. I'll be on tomorrow. Make sure you hop in next Monday, 8:30 Central for the next meet podcast. But does anybody else have any other questions for Dapper or I or anything. Roadkill's all out. He's been doing the grinding of all the question asking here.
It's all good, man. You know,
I'm gonna
appreciate
send
it.
a quick shout out for Zappa. Everybody, make sure you drop him a follow. Check him out.
Oh, me, Red. I'm so. Get off me.
That's him on Destiny there.
Am I owning or am I complaining about the
Yeah, it looks like you got a shotgun.
I'm just so fast right now.
He said, "Oh, I'm just so fast right now."
Crazy. Oh yeah, that was the recent one. Yeah, yeah, I killed this guy at the end.
Steamrolled over him.
Got him. How's he not dead right there? How is he not dead?
Oh man.
I'm telling you, Johnny. I'm juiced up in that game right now.
You got him. He's good.
Yeah, I'm juiced up in that game, dog.
So, is there any questions that you wish I had asked, or is there any questions that you've had in your head, or anything that you want to ask me?
I don't really got any questions, man. I feel like, for the most part, we're on the same page, just in terms of understanding things. Questions I wish you had, I don't think so. But let's see. I think it's a good. I don't know how people feel about this, right? Maybe you could preface it to them, but I think it's good to ask people what they do, daily.
Right.
Again, some people might be kind of embarrassed about it or feel weird about it, so I would say clear it first. But I think that's a good way to do it. I think that humanizes the person you're talking to, as well as maybe shows people this is what I also do. So so they understand that this is a grind.
Right.
As much fun as it can be, as rewarding it can be, it's also kind of a grind too. So that might be good to ask. So what do you do for a living, or what do you do now? Would you keep doing it? How has it helped you? Has there any transferable skills or experience, that you have that could apply? So that's because some folks are good graphic designers, right? And so that could be huge for helping people grow their communities or grow their brands. And it's just something that it's one of those skills where you don't think about it. It seems obvious or kind of obvious, but unless you have some sort of clear, applicable kind of project or audience to reach with it, people don't think about using it for this whole thing. So yeah, that's maybe something you could ask. What else? I also think you should probably, again, clear this with people, but I think maybe asking about the sort of darker or more difficult negative side of this, I think that's something that's just a reality check. Because again, it's not always going to be people just gushing over how skilled you are, or how handsome you are, how smart you are, or just giving donations and, their right arm and all these things to you. It's not going to be all that.
Right.
The views and the chats and all that. It's going to be quiet nights. It's going to be people coming in and being rude to you. It's going to be, a lot of questioning, a little bit of anxiety too sometimes. But yeah, I think talking about that is kind of bringing it, because, it's also tied into mental health, and it's so important these days. So yeah, that's something that maybe I would also ask.
Roadkill has one last question here. He says, "What's your dream car?"
Dream car? First generation Chevy Camaro.
Yes, sir. Look at you. Yes, sir. I'm a Chevy man myself.
And I want to restore it myself, me and my pops.
Heck yeah.
Because he's a mechanic, so yeah, he busted his ass, coming in. I'm a first generation American too, man. So we came up hard, but we worked hard, met good people that brought us up along the way, and now look, man, I got this whole house, streaming, meeting people, all of that, and yeah. So, but to answer the question, yeah. Color wise, I don't know what I'd go with though. Maybe black, but another part of me says red, but I don't know.
Right. My grandpa had these 60. He had a 62 and a 63 Stingray, and those are probably it. He had the 62 with the split back window. That one was candy apple red, and the other one was yellow, bright yellow.
Yellow. I feel like a Stingray would be nice in a nice like a blue or a grayish kind of blue. I think it would look really nice.
He had
no, exactly.
66 Chevelle with that kind of color, grayish blue. It was very nice. And then he had a 55 Chevy Cameo that was coral and white. Nice. That thing was very, very nice.
Anything from that era, really, I would take. But if I had to be very specific, I would be first generation Camaro.
Well, I have my own. I have a 86 Suburban, and I want to put a good, nice motor in it. I want to
Yeah.
lift it up, do some cool stuff to it. So hopefully that'll be my
You know,
project.
yeah, more power to you, bro. Cause like I could never do any kind of that mechanical work. Body work is one thing, but like rebuilding a well, not that you need to do this, but like rebuilding a transmission, like that kind of stuff, like it's so intricate, you know. Yeah, I think it, but no, but definitely a good choice of cars for sure. And yeah, I would love to just kind of like get my hands in there as well. I feel like these days, like you kind of almost can't perform your own maintenance on your own vehicle. It's kind of not so great. I mean, I get it. The equipment is a little more intricate. It's a little more expensive too. But yeah, cars from then back in those days, you just needed a small little toolbox, and you could for the most part do everything.
Right, and you can sometimes you can just hit stuff and make it work. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
With that old stuff. Well, it's
yeah,
real nice having you on here, Sapa. Like I always tell everybody on here, I'm like, if you've been on here before, that doesn't mean you can't come back. You know.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'm always happy to talk more. I mean, we can even get into some more like just other subjects we could talk about. Again, you know, always happy to chop it up with you, man. Let's get into some games too.
There is 3 games that I'd love to have us play if you're interested. I know you've talked to Justin quite a bit on your stream, at least, about playing Sea of Thieves with us.
Yeah. I'll find out time to do that.
Sea of
we can
Thieves,
play something else,
Apex.
Sure you want to do Apex, man? You sure?
Yeah.
You sure?
I need to see the real
sure?
sweat lobbies.
Yeah, God, man. Yeah, I got you. No, I mean like I would. It's like I want to play with you, but it's like God, Apex, man.
Apex. Yeah, I've kind of got away from it at the moment too.
I'll get back into it. But anyway, go ahead, man.
I haven't played it for a while, so I mean, I don't know how often I'll be playing it. I played it the other day because I really didn't have anything because just some stuff didn't fall through, so we went ahead and hopped on that so I could get something quick and get it done. Just basically, you know, like so, Sea of Thieves, and we talked about Apex a while ago, and I don't know, I just didn't have any interest to play any Dead by Daylight. But I mean, if it was, probably with like you and like Roadkill, maybe I would try it. But
bro, Sea of Thieves, it's fine, and well, I'll get some Apex in on my own, and then if I'm feeling, it's not that I don't like the game, but it's just like it's like what you said about sweats, and it's like skill-based matchmaking makes it kind of unfun. Like, I just want to.
I never liked Apex's matchmaking at all. I didn't. When I went to ranked, it's like I was a rookie playing like diamonds, and I got some preds at one point, and it's like, why?
Yeah, it's just because it could literally just be that whoever was like matching on your server, like they just had to throw people in. You know, it's kind of poopy, but you know, again, we'll work it out, man. I appreciate you having me though, man.
Yeah. If you have any ideas, any other segments and stuff, because I do want to find some other people that have some ideas for some segments we got. I do want to do some different stuff, so I have some ideas of maybe doing a co-stream as we play and showing your camera, my camera, and we play something together. And we can do that for basically like a podcast, and we can have different segments where we could we could talk like this again. But anybody who comes in, I mean, I'm always looking for answers or other ideas.
Sounds good, man.
If you ever have anything, I'm here for you. I'll be able to help you out however I can.
Real one, man. I got you. Yeah, no, for sure. We'll talk soon, man.
But
and,
everybody, let Sapa know. Thanks for coming in. Let him know, Meat Squad appreciates him. We will obviously still be talking with you. We'll check you out. Like I already gave you a shout out. We'll be checking you out when you come on, and
appreciate it, man.
It'll be mutual,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna let you continue on. So I'm gonna disconnect from the call though. And,
yes, sir.
Yeah, dude, it was a pleasure, man.
Appreciate you, man. Nice to meet you.
All right. Yes, sir. Yeah. So for actually meet you, right?
Yeah.
For sure, man. All right.
Well, guys, that was really fun. It was very fun. Happy we did that. We'll be doing the same thing next week on Monday, 8:30. Now we're gonna hop over to some Call of Duty, and we're gonna hope stuff doesn't lag and freeze and crash, and up. And we're going to play some COD, man. We're going to have some fun. Let me get the team on here. How did everybody feel about that? I know, Roadkill, you've been in here the whole time. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Thank you for all the questions and stuff. I appreciate it. Mid squad assemble, yes, sir. Hopefully we'll have one of our good friends on here next week. They haven't got back to me yet, but hopefully that'll work. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it, buddy. But I will get a hold of them to check and see if they're fine with that. My guys, I gotta tell somebody.
Her tattoo. That's, you're either gonna get dropped out and she's gonna move on. How long have you been dating? I guess if you've been dating over like a couple years,
yes, sir, Roadkill.
I guess that's not right to ask someone to cover it. In my eyes. But my wife has our marriage date and Horde T on her wrist. She ain't getting rid of that, baby. What up, Johnny? Okay, guys, we're gonna run one. I don't know what's up with Aviator. Johnny's back on call. Let's go, Johnny. I saw your message, dude. The 26th. I gotta up my watch game, bro. I know I've missed you, Tatted. I don't look at that stuff, so I mean I don't really see who's really here or not. Doing that. Do you want me? Do you want to get in, Aviator? I mean, do you not see invites flying in? Bro, turn it off, Aviator. No, I've sent you an invite, bro. Come on.
Well, I may have to reset again here, guys. Damn. Freaking COD and my router just do not go well together. Huh? Because if you're on, then I can't get on. If I'm on, you can't get on. No, you're totally fine, Matt. If you want to ask any questions or anything, I'd love to have you ask some questions. That's why we have those segments. Hope we don't have to reset, man. I really want to connect here. I just don't want to have to reset. I have to reset. God damn it. Well, guys, please stick around. If you reset, you refresh whenever you're in about, 3-4 minutes. I'll be back on. I just have to reset my router because COD does not let me connect to online services unless I have it loaded before I believe before I go live. I don't know what the problem is. I've tried to fix it. I've tried to call my internet provider. Nothing happens. Everybody, please stick around. I have to reset my router. I will be back on. Reset Twitch or refresh Twitch here in about 3, 4, 5 minutes. I will be back. It's just COD, man. It's the only thing I have problems with. Yeah. Huh.
So it's like
Yeah.